How's it going, guys? It's Sean. We're back again with the commands of Christ, and today is wake up, and it's in Revelation chapter 2 and 3, and it's I was I've read over this probably 1,000 times, man. I heard it in church so many times, and they talk about it like Jesus was speaking to churches in the time of in the 3rd century, and like it was a prophetic message for the churches in the 3rd century, and some people say the late 2nd, and but when we read Revelation chapter 2 and 3, or when we listen to it spoken to us, we kind of shut it out because it was to a specific group of people. It doesn't really apply to me, so I'm gonna take it with a grain of salt. And so as we've explored these commands of Christ, over time, what I hope we found and discovered is that deeds, actions are a big deal. In Revelation chapter 2, it says, I know your deeds, but when you look at the Hebraic, the expression is action. And so when you look at what James says, he says that faith alone is not enough to stand on. So he says faith without works is dead. Faith with no action. So the evidence of the faith, the evidence of the Jesus in your life, is in the way you treat others and the way you treat the Lord. And so the issue that and the issue we're having is, and it's just so rampant. It's oh man, there's so many churches and so many groups of people that had these issues, and Jesus throughout the New Testament, the Gospels, addresses things to the assembly, meaning his children. So, anyway, you look at the letters that are written to these churches. There's 7 of them. In Revelation chapter 2 and 3 is a total of 7. And 7, biblically, is the number of completion. And just a couple weeks ago, I was reading over this, and what I did is I took out to the angel of church in Ephesus, and I took out to the angel of church in Philadelphia. And what I did is I made one statement out of it, one message. I think it's a universal message. When you look at the commands of Christ, everything is action. Everything we do, it's all an action. It's alive, and we show it through our actions and through our life. So it's not just about what we think and feel and talk about and express. It's what we show people, how we treat them, and how we really think about others. It says, I know your deeds, your hard work, and your perseverance. I know that you cannot tolerate wicked people, that you have tested those who claim to be apostles but are not, and have found them false. You have persevered and have endured hardships for my name, and have not grown weary. Yet this I hold against you: you have forsaken the love you had at first. Consider how far you have fallen. Repent and do the things you did at first. If you do not repent, I will come and remove your lampstand from its place. But you have this in your favor: you hate the practices of the Nicolaitans, which I also hate. Whoever has ears, let them hear what the Spirit says to the churches. Nicolaitans. So we see prosperity gospel, and we see all this, name it and claim it doctrine, and that's a major issue. And so, you look at what he's talking about here with the Nicolaitans. This is a practice that's still alive today. You can Google Church of the Nicolaitans; it's still there, and it's crazy. But I think this is a prophetic message for the people of today. I think it's all one letter, and I think that it applies to all of us. So I know this is Smyrna, verse 9, Revelation 2. I know your afflictions and your poverty, yet you are rich. I know about the slander of those that say they are Jews and are not, but are a synagogue of Satan. Do not be afraid of what you're about to suffer. I tell you, the devil will put some of you in a prison and test you, and you will suffer persecution for 10 days, but be faithful even to the point of death, and I will give you your victor's crown. Next one, verse 13. I know where you live, where Satan has his throne, yet you remain true to my name. You did not renounce your faith in me, not even in the days of Antipas, my faithful witness, who was put to death in your city where Satan lives. Nevertheless, I have a few things against you. There are some among you who hold to the teaching of Balaam, who taught Balak to entice the Israelites to sin, so that they ate food sacrificed to idols and committed sexual immorality. Likewise, you also hold to the teaching of the Nicolaitans. Repent therefore, otherwise I will come to you and will fight against them with the sword of my mouth. So we compromise the message of the gospel. We compromise sin. And, oh, it's okay. I mean, look, if God's got an issue with it, he's got an issue with it. If I do something he doesn't like, I get punished. He disciplines those he loves. And discipline's a great thing, guys. So we've just got major issues. It goes on. This is in 19. I know your deeds, your love and faith, service and perseverance, and that you are now doing more than you did at first. Nevertheless, I have this against you. You tolerate that woman Jezebel, who calls herself a prophet. So let's look at that for a second. You tolerate Jezebel. Look at our divorce rate, and look at people that engage in marriages and relationships that are an assignment from the devil, not God's choice, but our choice, which we put ourselves in these unequally yoked situations. And read the story of Samson and Delilah. We have to accept what God has for us. When we go our own direction, we have major problems. So I'll cast her on a bed of suffering, and I will make those who commit adultery with her suffer intensely, unless they repent of her ways. I will strike her children dead. Then all the churches will know that I am he who searches the hearts and minds, and will repay each of you according to your deeds. And now I say to the rest of you in Thyatira, to you who do not hold to her teaching and not learn Satan's so-called deep secrets, I will not impose any other burden on you except to hold on to what you have until I come. And then it goes on to Sardis, Revelation 3. I know your deeds. You have a reputation of being alive, but you are dead. Wake up, strengthen what remains and is about to die, for I have found your deeds unfinished in the sight of my God. Remember therefore what you have received and heard, hold it fast and repent. But if you do not wake up, I will come like a thief, and you will not know at what time I come. Yet you have a few people in Sardis who have not sold their clothes. They will walk with me dressed in white, for they are worthy. The one who is victorious will, like them, be dressed in white. I will never blot out the name of that person from the book of life, but will acknowledge the name before my Father and his angels. Next one, Philadelphia, Revelation 3, verse 8. I know your deeds. See, I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut. I know that you have little strength, yet you have kept my word and have not denied my name. I will make those who are of the synagogue of Satan, who claim to be Jews, though they are not but liars, I will make them come and fall down at your feet and acknowledge that I have loved you. Since you have kept my command to endure patiently, I will also keep you from the hour of trial that is going to come on the whole world to test the inhabitants of the earth. I am coming soon. Hold on to what you have, so that no one will take your crown. The one who is victorious I will make a pillar in the temple of my God. Never again will they leave it. I will write on them the name of my God and of the city of my God, the new Jerusalem, which is coming out of the heaven from my God, and will also write on them my new name. The next one's in verse 15. I know your deeds, that you are neither cold nor hot. I wish you were either one or the other. So because you are lukewarm, neither hot or cold, I'm about to spit you out of my mouth. You say, I am rich, I have acquired wealth, and I don't need a thing. But you do not realize you are wretched, pitiful, poor, blind, and naked. I counsel you to buy from me gold refined in the fire, so that you can become rich, and white clothes to wear, so that you can cover your shameful nakedness, and salve to put in your eyes, so that you can see. To those I love, I rebuke and discipline, so be earnest and repent. Here I am, standing at the door and knocking. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in and eat with that person, and they will eat with me. To the one who is victorious, I will give the right to sit with me on my throne, just as I was victorious and sat down with my Father on his throne. Whoever has ears, listen. So we see the command to wake up in there. And guys, wake up. When you look at this and read it for yourselves, when you look at this, wake up. We're asleep. We're totally asleep. There's so many things we're missing out on, so many opportunities, and mainly it's about us. Jesus is mainly concerned about us individually, and as we grow closer, we draw others in. But you got to understand, we're the lampstand and he's the light. And he says that if we don't get it together, he's going to take that lampstand away. In other words, we'll be useless to him. And he asks in Matthew chapter 5, what good is salt if it loses its savor, if it loses its saltiness? It's no longer good except to be thrown out and trampled. So guys, we really got to seek in and get close and just see what he wants from us. Just spend time. And like I said, man, I read over this thing 100 times. I never saw it as one document written to us, but I really think it is. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. That's Wake Up. Until next time, thanks for coming by.